What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports, and everyone that is viewing this on the Painted Lines channel as well. Welcome back. In the Phillies, they win this second game against the Washington Nationals by a score of 5-2. And big things, the bullpen really stepped up in this ball game. Andrew McCutchen with a clutch 3-run bomb in that fourth inning. Bryce Harper also driving a little bit of a late run in that eighth inning as well, to give the Phillies a good win in this ballgame. And like I said, you cannot credit the bullpen enough. They stepped up huge when Spencer Howard couldn't even go past 3 innings in his ballgame. He couldn't. I think he only recorded, 1 out in the 3rd inning, and he got to get yanked because, once again, the common theme with Spencer Howard is he has so much of a drastic drop in his velocity and the command. It's ridiculous at this point. It's becoming too common, and you're just at that point you're expecting, okay, when's the velocity going to drop? When's the command going to go away? Because it happened very early on in this ball game. And Spencer Howard confuses me. I just don't understand it. How you just lose it. I'm so confused. My mind is like scrambled. How is that even possible? To only pitch 2 innings, and then after those 2 innings, that's when your velocity drops. Is it like poor management is it poor training? Is it just poor execution? Does he get into his own head a little bit? Like, what is going on there to have that decreased velocity that drastically? Because you get to the start of the game, he's pounding fastballs, 97, 98, 99, topping 100 sometimes. But then you get to 1 inning, sometimes that velocity decreases by at least 5, 6, or 7 miles. Throwing 92, 93. How does it get that low when you are a guy that can pound fastballs at the high velocity? I just don't understand. And then he just can't locate. He cannot locate. It's, okay, maybe I can understand the loss in velocity, but don't lose your command. He does both. And I am so confused on how that happens so quickly with Spencer Howard. I just don't understand it at all. And I don't want to do this entire recap just ranting on Spencer Howard, because if for people that on my channel that watch, it's like when I bring up Spencer Howard, I don't think that highly of him because he does this every time. Last year when he came up, he just wasn't consistent. Yeah, he was able to go maybe 5, 6 innings here or there, maybe 4, but still he had that drastic drop in velocity and drastic drop in command, and he continues to show that throughout his stint in the big leagues this year, going from last year. It's really hard to understand how that drops so drastically. And I hope he can eventually figure it out, because if he can develop into a 4th, 5th starter, that would be so huge for this team. But the more and more I see this, it's just like, how the hell is this kid going to get out of it? He just needs to. He desperately needs to get out of this type of funk that he's consistently into. Whether that's I know in one of the other games that he pitched in, he said that running out the first base was the reason why he lost his velocity dropped. I'm just like, okay, is fatigue a factor? Are you not training properly? I just don't know. I really don't know. But going back to the bullpen, you got to give all that credit to the bullpen. They stepped up huge. Ranger Suarez, Archie Bradley, Sam Coonrod, Jose Alvarado, Connor Brogdon. Man, you really, I think you need Zach Eflin. No, it's Vince Velasquez going tomorrow. You desperately need a guy like Vince Velasquez to go at least deep into the ball game, and that is not guaranteed. But you desperately need that. You lose a lot of bullpen arms today, and who knows what is going to be available in tomorrow's ball game. Definitely do. And clutch home run by Andrew McCutchen, very, very clutch. Bryce Harper, and there was a little bit of a scare situation in this game too. We got hit by a pitch. You had Joe Girardi, you had the trainer coming out there to check on him. He was fine to stay into the ball game, and he got that clutch RBI in the 8th inning. So right now, all is well in Phillies country until tomorrow's ball game, when we probably go through another sit down of frustration, because that is the Phillies to this point. That they are a very frustrating team. We just expect it to this point, but I digress. Spencer Howard, the first 2 innings, doesn't go 1, 2, 3. He allows a walk here or there, but he manages to get out of those situations without getting into major jams. He's pumping the heat gun there, 97, 98, 99 on the fastball, getting players out. Then you go into that 3rd inning. Just the drop in velocity, and you instantly see it. You got Joe Ross getting a single, then Trey Turner grounding into a force out, but you still have that runner on base. Then Josh Harrison comes up. You can honestly see the loss in command there in that at bat because he hits Josh Harrison on the wrist. Josh Harrison on the wrist, and you get a first and second situation for Juan Soto. But then Joe Girardi elects to come and take Spencer Howard out, bringing Ranger Suarez to face the lefty. And, a routine double play to Gene Segura, it should have been that. It definitely should have, but, he missed it. It went right under his glove, and that causes Trey Turner to score to make it a 1-0 Nationals lead. But thank God Ranger Suarez managed to get out of that inning, get in the next two batters out in Josh Bell and Kyle Schwarber, or the damage could have been way worse. Thank you, Gene Segura, for giving the Nationals that run for a routine ground ball. And the Phillies' defensive woes, they just continue. Like, Nick Maton had a weird play where he was bobbling the ball at shortstop and he completely threw it past Rhys Hoskins. It was like, dude, why are you even throwing it at that point if you're bobbling for like 5 seconds trying to get it into your glove? And it's just, man, the defense. Bad. It's bad. It's really, really bad. So we go into the fourth inning. This is where the Phillies start to do their damage. You got Gene Segura reaching on a fielding error by Josh Bell. Then Bryce Harper eventually gets hit by that pitch. And then the whole situation where Joe Girardi, the trainer, come out. But he elects to stay in the game. And thank God that for Bryce Harper, because I do not need another heart attack with his health concerns this year. Then Rhys Hoskins gets a single on a fly ball to center field, making it a 1-1 game. And then two batters later, Andrew McCutchen on the very first pitch of the at-bat sends a bomb into the left field stands, making it a 4-1 game. Andrew McCutchen, honestly, we all know his April was just, April at the plate was just horrible. But ever since like the beginning of May, he's been a pretty good bat for us, and honestly, even moving down into the lineup too. He's been providing some pretty good production out of that middle part of the lineup ever since being moved down. So hey, Andrew McCutchen, even though he does have his defensive woes as well, like the entire team does, but the bat from Andrew McCutchen thankfully has been clutch as of late, so I'm very thankful for that. So the Phillies go up 4-1 in the bottom of the fourth inning. The Nationals, they get another run in the top of the eighth inning. You got Jose Alvarado coming up on the mound, and you got going through the rest of the ball game too. You got the other pitchers. You got Archie Bradley, Sam Coonrod coming in. They're getting their job done. Jose Alvarado comes in with a few base runners. He gets out of that jam, but then he allows the home run to Josh Bell in the top of the eighth inning, making it a 4-2 ball game at that point. The Phillies, they get a couple of base runners in the eighth inning, and thank God for Bryce Harper. Comes up clutch with the RBI single, and he makes it a 5-2 ball game. The Phillies do have more chances to drive runs in, because at that point when Bryce Harper got the single, there was no outs in that inning, but Rhys Hoskins popped up, JT Realmuto struck out, and Brad Miller struck out. So many other chances to score runs in that inning, but you got an insurance run with a 5-2 lead. Going to the ninth inning, Connor Brogdon came in for Jose Alvarado, and he gets a 1-2-3 inning. Looked fantastic, and he gets his first major league save. So the Phillies, they win this one by a score of 5-2. And also Juan Soto on the last at bat. And definitely the umpires in this ballgame were very, very inconsistent, especially on that final strike call to Juan Soto. Like, you can definitely understand why he was very frustrated with that call, because it was very close. It was the final strike of the ballgame, getting to the final out. But then that's also an instance where maybe that's too close of a pitch to take. But I digress. Hey, the Phillies won, so I care less of what Juan Soto thinks of that final pitch. But still, it was a very inconsistent day for the umpires behind the plate. So we look at the pitching stats for today's ball game. Spencer Howard goes two and a third innings, 1 hit, no earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. And he really needs to figure out this decrease in velocity, all this crap, because it's just at that point where you can't rely on him going deep into a ball game at all. You just can't. When Spencer Howard is going to pitch today, when Spencer Howard is going to pitch, it is going to be a bullpen game. That is basically what it is. It basically feels like Spencer Howard is an opener at this point, where it's going to be a bullpen game for the entire damn thing. So he definitely needs to figure out how to not lose that constant velocity. He needs to find a way to work on that. Ranger Suarez still hasn't allowed a run this year because the one run he allowed to Juan Soto, that was unearned because of the error by Gene Segura. So he goes 3 innings in this ball game, does now allow a hit and strikes out 3. So really good performance by Ranger Suarez. Archie Bradley comes in, pitches 2/3 of an inning, walks 1, strikes out 1. Good job by Archie Bradley. Sam Coonrod, he allows a couple of base runners. He only pitches 1/3 of an inning, allows 1 hit and 1 walk. Jose Alvarado comes in, finishes that job, but he also pitches an inning in 2/3, allows 2 hits, and the 1 earned run on the home run by Josh Bell. And Connor Brogdon comes into that 9th inning and gets the save as he strikes out 2 batters. Looking at the lineup for today's ball game, Odubel Herrera goes 1 for 3 with a walk. Gene Segura goes 1 for 3 with a run scored and a walk. Bryce Harper goes 1 for 3 with an RBI and a strikeout. Rhys Hoskins goes 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. JT Realmuto goes 1 for 4 with a strikeout. Andrew McCutchen goes 1 for 3 with a run scored and 3 RBIs on the 3-run bomb. Then you get Alec Boehm going 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Nick Maton going 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Then you get your various pinch hitters in this ballgame like Brad Miller, who went 0 for 1 in this ballgame. In other stats, the Phillies were 3 for 8 with runners in scoring position, and they left 4 runners on base in today's ballgame. So they bounced back from the tough loss yesterday after Travis Jankowski's ugliness yesterday. Definitely want to get that out of my goddamn head. And you tie the series so far against this Nationals team, and you desperately need to win tomorrow. You cannot lose a series at home to the Washington Nationals. You just can't. You just cannot. These 2 series at home are going to be huge for the Phillies because they are divisional matchups. You need to win them. You need to win them. Definitely do. You got Vince Velasquez on the bump tomorrow. Still, it's to be determined for the Nationals. No idea who is pitching for them. And then you have the off day on Monday before the Atlanta Braves come into town for a 3-game set. And then you also have an off day this upcoming Friday, the 11th, before the Yankees come into town for a 2-game weekend set, even though that is still very weird to say. A 2-game weekend set. I don't know. I don't know. It's really confusing when you say it like that, but still. Going to need to get this W tomorrow. Hopefully we do. Hopefully Vince Velasquez can bounce back from his last start and just give us at least 5-6 innings, because you cannot have a very short outing because you're definitely not going to have that many bullpen arms to use for tomorrow, especially also when you don't have Hector Neris because he's on paternity leave, so congratulations to him on his child, but definitely you're not going to have that many bullpen pieces tomorrow. You really need to rely on Vince Velasquez to go at least 5 or 6. Hopefully he can go 7, but I'm not pushing my luck that much. So, what is everyone's thoughts on this video? Your thoughts on this game? Andrew McCutchen's home run, Spencer Howard. I want to hear all your thoughts in the comment sections below, so don't forget to leave those there as always. And for people who don't know what the Painted Lines are, their links into social media stuff will be in the description below. And for people that are watching on the Painted Lines, don't forget to subscribe here on TTP Sports for all Philadelphia sports recaps. Definitely do check that out. All of those links will be in the description below. And also, don't forget to check the link to Flyered Up Podcast merchandise website. And also, for Flyers Nitty Gritty, they will be in the description as well. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, everyone. Both channels. And I will see you next time.